All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the tech that makes your chat apps feel so incredibly instant. You ever send a message and wonder how it gets to your friend halfway across the world in literally the blink of an eye? Well, let's break it down.
I mean, it really feels like magic, doesn't it? You type, you hit send, and boom, it's there. But behind that super smooth experience is a really serious engineering challenge. How do you actually create a real-time two-way conversation over the internet?
Okay, so let's say we wanted to build an app like Messenger or WhatsApp. We'd have a pretty strict checklist to follow. First, you need crazy low latency, so there's zero noticeable delay. It's got to support a massive volume of users. We're talking millions of people all sending messages at once. Of course, it has to be reliable, because nobody wants their messages to just vanish into the ether. And obviously, the whole thing has to be completely secure and private.
To really get why the modern solution is so brilliant, we first have to look at the old way of doing things. For decades, pretty much the entire internet has run on a protocol called HTTP. And for browsing websites, it's absolutely fantastic.
The easiest way to think about HTTP is like sending a letter. Your computer, which is the client, sends a request, that's the letter, to a server asking for something, like a web page. And then it waits. It has to wait for the server to get the letter, do its thing, and send a response back. The key thing here is that communication only flows in one direction at a time.
And you can probably already see the huge problem this creates for a chat app, right? The server can't just tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you've got a new message. Nope. Instead, your phone has to constantly pester the server, over and over, asking, anything new for me yet? How about now? Got anything yet? It's not exactly what you'd call a real-time conversation.
So, in the early days, developers got creative, but the workarounds were, well, clumsy. The first was called HTTP polling. Just imagine your app is like an impatient kid in the back of a car asking the server, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Every couple of seconds. It creates a ton of wasted traffic because most of the time the server's answer is just, nope, nothing yet. Then things got a little smarter with long polling. Here, your app asks the server for info, but the server holds that connection open, just waiting, until it actually has a new message to send. It's definitely better for cutting down the delay, but it's still a hack. It's not a true two-way conversation.
Okay, so if polling is off the table, what's the answer? To really solve this problem for good, engineers needed a better tool. So they went back to the drawing board and created a whole new protocol designed specifically for this purpose: WebSockets.
So if HTTP is like sending letters, a WebSocket is like an open phone line. Once the client and server connect, that line just stays open. It's what's known as a full duplex, bi-directional channel, which is really just a fancy way of saying both sides can talk at any time, instantly, without having to ask permission first.
And this table here, this really lays it all out. Look at the key differences. For HTTP, you see that constant request-response cycle, but with a WebSocket, it's just one single persistent connection. And check this out, the communication style. HTTP is half duplex, which is kind of like a walkie-talkie. You talk, then I talk. A WebSocket is full duplex, a real phone call where we can both talk at once. It just becomes so obvious why WebSockets are way better for things like live chat or online gaming.
So, WebSockets are clearly the perfect tool for the job. Problem solved, right? Well, not quite. This amazing tool introduces a brand new massive challenge. How on earth do you manage millions of these open telephone calls all at the same time?
Yeah, there's a pretty hard technical limit we have to deal with. Because of how computer networking fundamentally works, a single server can really only handle about 65,000 open connections at once. Now, some modern servers can push that number a little higher, but the core problem is still there.
So you clearly can't run a global chat app with hundreds of millions of users on just one server. It would just completely melt down. So how do the big apps actually do it?
The solution is this huge distributed system, and it has three main parts. First, right at the front door, you've got a load balancer. Think of it like a super smart traffic cop for the internet. Its only job is to direct every new person connecting to an available server so no single machine gets overloaded. Then you have a massive fleet of servers, we're talking thousands of them, each one handling its own little group of user connections. But the big question is, how do they talk to each other? That's the third piece, the message queue. This thing is the central nervous system for the whole operation. It lets all the servers communicate. So when you're on server A and your friend is on server Z, the message queue makes sure your message gets to them instantly.
Okay, I know that was a lot of technical detail, so let's just boil it all down. What are the most important things to remember here?
So the bottom line is this: it's all about using the right tool for the right job.
HTTP is for fetching things, loading a website, downloading a file. It's a one-time request. WebSockets, on the other hand, are for conversations. They're that persistent, two-way connection that's become the standard for any live interactive feature you see on the web. And scaling that up to millions of people is a super complex but totally solvable puzzle.
And this quote just nails it. WebSockets aren't some niche, quirky tool. They are a fundamental, core part of the modern interactive internet that we all use every single day.
You know, once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing this technology absolutely everywhere. Think about live sports scores updating on your phone in real time or stock tickers changing by the millisecond. Even collaborative tools like Google Docs where you can literally see other people typing at the same time. Massive online games, they're built on this same foundation. It's the invisible engine powering the instant, live internet we've all come to expect. And building these complex, scalable systems, that's a highly specialized skill. It's exactly what expert developers like the team at Nixvano Digital Labs Ltd. specialize in. They build custom, high-performance web applications using this very technology. So if you're looking to build your own real-time app, you should reach out to Nixvano to get it built right.